How can something as beautiful as this be dying? A plague is ruining the land, but the tree of life still stands. Question is, for how long? End is coming to the new world. The tribes stand divided, in need of someone strong enough to unite them, or bring them all down. This is a story with an unusual beginning. So, let's expect an unusual end. Welcome to Biomutant. Encode your DNA. Define your genetic structure. Encode your DNA. Define your genetic structure. Choose a genetic resilience. Choose your fur style. Pick your main color. Choose your detail color. Pick a class. Commando. Psy-Freak. Saboteur. Sentinel. Psy Commander. Deadeye. Commando. Psy-Freak. Saboteur. Sentinel. Psy-Freak. Psy-Freak chosen. Good choice. Here's somebody with a troubled past, drawn into the spotlight of a story that's already begun. We're already at a crossroads. Choosing a path in life is that fork in the road. But for you, it's not only a crossroad, but a choice. A reflection of your key, the primal...
Let me introduce myself. I'm the light and bright side of you, or your inner voice to be precise. An echo of balance and consequence of your actions as you move...
Seems more like you're being light-headed if you ask me, but you'll come around.
But what comes around goes
in your nature, and here I was hoping we'd be all...
Ha! Natural selection is all about...
Right is always right. Stories of death and the bodies left behind. A reminder that we're at the mercy of nature and the one that preys on others. Do you remember the beast that shattered your family, or did you choose to forget? You turned your back on our world and got lost in your own. Meanwhile, the Predator only grew stronger. Better make a run for it. This is not the time nor place to end this story. This time, it was best to run and live to fight another day. Let us hope you're ready for it when it comes. The Predator isn't the only threat. The wildlife started to mutate when the end of days began, and the Tree of Life started to die. The oil sludges everywhere. To most, it only means death, but some have adapted to the new environment and changed with it. Evolution has its ways. You've got nothing left. Sure useful. Kaboom! Not enough key energy. Lethal weapons. Seems like a peculiar item. So much sharper. Look, an emergency box from the Wandsworth. A rare sight. That pipe looks weak. The claw bar should come in handy. Whoa! It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it. The Morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under the stress. Logs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being when absorbed, including you. Small things for your big ideas. Low tech, but it works. Toxanol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we know other arks traveled through the sky and beyond. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how recklessly the Toxanol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and, without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right. But no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours. The sound of spark metal going pew-pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door. There you go. The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives. That's the good stuff. He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't figure... He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's way overdue, but he hasn't given up. There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin seen outside the Great Wall, and he's the legend of the one-eyed child that grew. The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had... There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Lupa Lupin did to your village, your Muma and Popsy, was the beginning of... He says it has taken you a long time to bring the past back up to the present, to find your way back. But it was after the attack that the unity fell apart. Your Muma's disciples divided and formed tribes as a reaction. Had it not been for the Tree of Life, no one would have survived. He... Asks if you are tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He wonders if your Muma knows you are here. Sounds like he thinks she does, despite your heart growing dark. There's nothing as powerful. He understands why you came all the way out here. The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder, somehow interlinked with this little tree here, fueling its source of life. You might... The Nono prefer to hide in glitter grass. He says you should get over there and ruffle it. See if you can make one come out of hiding. You found one. You should be proud. They don't come out for everyone. The small tree you saw up there where you met will eventually grow into a tree of life and start giving back to nature. It'll be the... You'll need to support the tree for a long time to come. The only way it'll grow tall is with the burst of ki released from the Nono. You'll need a net to catch the Nono, and he wants you to use his, but asks you to be gentle. The Nono are sensitive beings, and You handle that net like you've never done anything else. One day, he hopes the tree will have grown tall enough to sustain. But today, your focus is getting this one to become one with the tree. Now that you've seen the Nonnos connect, from this day on, he'll make nurturing the Pensai into a tree of life, a life goal, not only for our village's sake, but for... One day, the land won't be as peaceful. Not even your Muma will... He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Muma comes looking for you. You did good here today. No, she's got lots on her mind and needs rest after the raid last night on the Lupin camp with her disciples. He lost you there for a while, but no memory is alone. He says he remembers every single day he devoted to growing the Tree of Life, but now the tree started to die when the end of days begun, and it wasn't long after that that the World Eaters arrived. Records tell of the ruinous devastation the Toxanol Corporation inflicted on the land. His friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his Octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Noko has tamed the Midget and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Googlide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast. Out of Date says his friends are gearing up to stop the World Eaters. There's one at the end of each route. The road ahead won't be easy, but he's counting on your support. His friends aren't strong enough to... He wants you to understand that you'll all die. Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the situation with the World Eaters. You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb. Know that the Tree of Life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the World Eaters. A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged. Let's see. Must be the World Eater that chewed off Out of Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. It's a bridge. Just get over it. Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive. He's heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the World Eaters to other Ong. He worries there were... He doesn't know what your connection is to this place, but... Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your actions you'll be... He's grateful for that. You still seem to...
What's there to like about light? It hurts.
Not as much as it hurts to look at...
Always making this personal.
There's Out of Date again. He must have missed something important. Out of Date says you will make a better stand against the World Eaters with the support of a tribe, and there are two nearby. The Myriad tribe is likely to be a good match as they act on the understanding of the... Regardless of who you choose, it won't be easy, as the conflict between the tribes is... The Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way. Out of Date says someone needs to break the stalemate and shift the balance of power to either Jagni's or Myriad's side. He believes the tribe Sifus, Myriad especially, will listen to you and expects you to pay at least one of them a visit and play your part. Out of Date will be waiting for you beneath the Tree of Life if you lose track of what you... Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be? They've restroyed this area, muddied up what used to be muck, as if it wasn't bad enough before the tribe war began. That's the Jagni tribe's fort. Their friendship can be a blessing or a curse. It's up to you. You're either a part of their solution to the tribe war or part of the problem. As long as you're happy about it. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. They've already got word of an intruder, so he guesses the Sifu must be very interested.
Zata idzie mój to tloho. Kariezne stace. Paro,
The Jagni tribe wants to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. They want to vanquish the tribes, as the only way they can guarantee peace is through supremacy. The Sifu is determined to let the World Eaters destroy the Tree of Life, as it's part of their strategy to cleanse the world and start anew. He welcomes you to the Jagni fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. The news of a cold-blooded Ronin crossing the Great Wall through the crack in Bunker 101 preceded you. The wall that separates them from the other side, the wasteland you came from. He guesses the time spent there just left a blank space in your memory, as empty and barren as the wasteland itself. There's something about your spirit that sparks memories of you as a kidling. He can still sense you're kind-hearted. Sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about your Muma for ages, even though she taught him a lot. He was one of the original Wang Fu disciples. There were 6 of them, but the unity fell apart after Lupa Lupin attacked the old village. Soon after, they formed new tribes based on their own values, and when the Blight started, the animosity escalated to war. Jagni doesn't want a new unity between the tribes. Their goal is to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. Says there is some darkness in the best of us, even you, and suggests you embrace that side of you and help them vanquish the tribes and let the World Eaters destroy the Tree of Life. He wasn't sure you'd do that, but it seems your mind took control of that big heart of yours. That's a sign of strength. The Sifu was waiting for something to tip the balance in their favor, and with you by their side, he's confident you can vanquish the other tribes. The one he wants to deal with first is the Myriad tribe. Their kin must put an end to the war before war puts an end to them. It'll cost bruises and broken bone, but they refuse to be the victim here. He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of. He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen. Even if you see the world differently, you must hit them as soon and as hard as you can. The outcome of this war is up to you. Tells you not to be afraid. Your fate cannot be taken from you. Claim the rival outposts and earn the right to wield the tribe weapon. Once you've conquered the rivals' outposts, you'll challenge their Sifu for control of their territory, tribe weapon, and kin. Seeing you brings back his memories of the old village. He remembers your kind and unselfish soul, and can sense you still have it in you, the will to do good. Anyway, you'll pass your old village on your way to the first rival outpost, but we've got no time to be sentimental. War doesn't wait.
Ricky.
You have orders to follow.
Det var jätteräckligt äckligt.
Says you're welcome back. Figures the gatekeeper welcomes you back to the fort. Understands. Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially, deformed and unfurred. Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially, deformed and unfurred.